Hello? Yes, we're going to tell beginners how to invest in you today. Hello? Yes, you too, Mr. Gold. Investing in precious metals like gold and silver is one of the safest ways to protect and diversify your financial portfolio, especially with the shape of the economy today. And I'm guessing asset protection and diversification is one of the main reasons you're here.
That's very smart of you.
So I can totally see why you're here to learn about buying gold and silver, you little pirates. Arr. But in my opinion, there's never been another time better in all of history to be investing in precious metals than there is right now. I'm going to tell you why in just a second. It may sound extreme, but there's going to be some serious money to be made through gold and silver. Bear with me. I know jumping into precious metals investing can be scary as a new investor. I've been there. My goal is to guide you along to teach you how to safely and confidently invest in precious metals if you decide to go that route. I'm going to make sure no pirates stick their dirty little hands in your pockets. Although I'm only 39, I was a self-made millionaire before I got out of my 20s and started my investment journey very early on. I started specifically investing in precious metals about 15 years ago. And man, I made a lot of mistakes. I always tell my wife, embrace her mistakes. She always gives me a big hug. Okay, bad joke, not funny. Now on a serious note, I want to talk about investing in general for about a minute or so. Then we're going to talk about why there's never been a better time in all of history to be investing in precious metals and everything you need to know as a beginner. Investing for me is all about feeling secure. I want my future and I want my family's future to be secure and stable. I'm not necessarily looking to make as much money as possible. I don't need to be a billionaire, but I do want to protect my money and the future of my family. Now, with that said, you're of course gambling with any investment you make, no matter what it is. But precious metals has a proven track record over thousands and thousands of years. Stocks do not, crypto does not, treasuries do not. And I actually invest in all of those, but none of them have been around for a very long time. Real estate has a good history and usually makes me feel pretty secure, but not when it's at its peak and we're in a bubble. Now is not the time to be investing in real estate. That was back in 2009. And although I do invest in stocks and crypto because I'm willing to take on a little bit more risk for certain reasons, precious metals are one of the few investments in my portfolio that makes me feel very secure. It's actually probably one of the only ones. Before, I mentioned that there's never been a better time to invest in precious metals than now, and I want to get ready to touch on that. Usually, investing in precious metals is a lower return on investment over time. History mainly shows a very gradual upwards movement over time, which is why it's typically seen as a safe and secure investment. And typically, the safer the investment, the less the return is going to be. It's just the way investing works. But we are currently in an extremely rare place where not only is precious metals a safe investment, as always, but there's a good possibility for extreme returns. In the 1970s, gold 25x'd and silver more than 30x'd. There's a chance that because of the current situation with our economy, that we could make the 1970s look like small potatoes. I always use history as an indicator, and history has many signs pointing this way. And that is why I'm currently going heavier in precious metals than I usually would. Investing is all about putting money in the right place at the right time. Precious metals is a proven safe investment backed by thousands of years of history, and they have a good chance to have some type of explosion soon. You don't get those two things happening together very often. In 2009, it was real estate, as the market had crashed and prices were extremely cheap. Right now, in my opinion, it's precious metals. He shoots, he scores! That's what precious metals feels like to me right now. So there's a few different ways you can invest in precious metals. You can trade it, you can buy it in physical form, and you can put it in an IRA. Personally, I have a gold IRA, and I also buy physical gold and silver. I do not do any type of trading. So if you're here for trading information, I like to physically own my metals, and I like to have a mix of it either on me or close by, and I also like to have a mix of it in an IRA for the tax benefits. I also personally do a mix of both gold and silver when I'm investing. Yes, I equally love you both. Both are good for different reasons, and Tim and I actually have a video on investing in gold versus silver if you want to dive down that path. But my recommendation when starting out is do a mix of both, but do more gold than silver just to start. The reason for that is because typically gold will go up first during cycles and then silver will follow later on. So you can imagine how you can use this type of history to your advantage. And Side note, when you own gold and silver, you hold your first piece, it just makes you feel different. Some people call them God's metals because they come from the earth. Gold was even formed in the hearts of stars through the explosions of supernovas, so it's pretty cool. And you can almost feel like an energy when you have them. Pretty cool feeling. So let's talk about how to get started. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about trading because I don't do it. I'm going to talk about different ways to get started with physical gold and silver you store at home or in vaults, and getting started with a precious metals IRA. For physical gold and silver, you simply buy gold or silver from some type of shop or dealer. My first experience with a shop was absolutely horrible. There was this asshat, his name was John, and he totally ripped me off after I went in the store and I asked him a bunch of beginner questions about gold and silver investing. Of course, he took advantage and ripped me off because he knew I was a beginner and he was just selling me pieces at extremely high prices. This is for you, John. So I personally never recommend beginners start at local shops. You just never know what you're going to get. I've been in the industry for almost 15 years now and I've dealt with a lot of companies. There is one company that is my favorite for investing in physical metals, and then there's another one that's my favorite for investing in IRAs. Both are in the description below. The best part is that both of these companies give you a free kit to help educate you on investing in precious metals. So at the very least, my recommendation is to sign up, get those kits, and get educated. Then, if you want to invest, move forward and invest. And if you don't do it. But both companies have been serving both Tim and I well for many years. If you're going to be buying physical precious metals, make sure you get a plan for storage as well. We have videos on this, but here's the basic rundown. If storing at your house, make sure as little people know about it as possible. Don't be an idiot like me and tell everyone. And don't hide in obvious spots. Layer your hiding spots, like a floor safe with a rug on top with a couch on top. Or just simply put most or all of it in vaults like I do. I do this mainly because I talk about metals in public and people know I own it, so I can't really store it at my house. If you're doing an IRA, you have to store it at a depository. It's not an option. You cannot physically hold it, and our guys below will walk you through the whole process if that's what you decide to do. Now, to break it down, choose between either trading, physical gold and silver, an IRA, or a mix of some of these things. If going with physical gold and silver or an IRA, decide whether you want to go with gold or silver or both and what percentage of each. I personally believe that a good starting point is about 75% gold and 25% silver. From here, find a reputable dealer to help give you specific options for both size and either coins or bars. Note that we also have a video on investing in coins versus bars to help with that decision. We also have our reputable dealers below. If you don't want to go with one of them, just make sure you're going to go with someone that is highly trusted. You do not want to get ripped off. It happened to me when I was first starting out. John, you son of a. And that's the process in a nutshell. Whatever you decide to do, congratulations on at least educating yourself on precious metals investing. There's a lot of opportunity here. This is a big step. Also, leave Tim and I a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Give us any stories you have about investing as a beginner or novice, expert, whatever it is. We'd love to hear your stories and feedback. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. At least 3 videos a week, every week. See you soon.